Hey everybody, it's Max McAllister here today with the surprise part 3 of the Ultimate Cool Cubby glove box for the 2018 Plus Honda Goldwing. After we added our electrical connection fan and put on the new Traxxion Dynamics glove box insulation kit, all over this glove box, I went to play with it just to see what was up, and I found my first boo-boo. If you use the insulation kit, don't forget to cut the insulation away from your fan. Otherwise, your fan won't be able to draw any air to move around through the thing. So I was curious about just how much air that little fan could move or did move. And Lewis at Electrical Connection had said, this lid is not a rubber sealed lid. It's just sort of a double overlapping plastic gap so to keep rain out. And so it just kind of forces some air out the top. But so I was playing with it myself just to see if I could make it optimum. And I theorized that having some exhaust ports drilled into the up high in the cubby and opposite of the fan, hot air rises, right? So we would push the hot air, bring air in. By the way, yes, there is, everybody asks, isn't the air hot? It's not as hot as like what's inside the box. The box, can think of it as an oven, and the temperature rises inside the box because air is not circulating around it. Much in the same way, your car is hotter inside than the air outside of your car. Yes, I realize there's glass windows before all the engineers start freaking out and trying to mess up my analogy, but that's a basic analogy. So yes, you drop the windows in your car, it gets cooler in your car right away. So even though you're pulling 90-degree air into your 130-degree car, right? Well, so same thing here. So what I did was I started by just plugging the little fan in and listening to it. It actually takes it a minute to spool up. It gets up to speed, like, and it gets going. So once it's at full RPM, what I wanted to do was just see what happens. So this is too. There's not a good enough sound for you to hear all this on the internet, so I'm just kind of explaining it. So what I did was I started closing the lid. As I'd close the lid, you could hear the motor of the fan load up, like start going. It's trying to work harder, okay? So meaning that it was, trying to move more air than it could get out. So I had planned to put some little ports in here anyway, so I just started with 1/4-inch drill bit and drilled a hole up high here, but below the little rain gully. And you should probably be safer than I was because I probably missed it by a nick here. So, go a 1/4 or 1/2 inch down here and you're fine. I drilled one over on this side, and unbeknownst to me, Honda has some little drains in the rain gutter here, and the drill bit didn't bother the gutter, but when you drilled through on the inside of the hole, then you've opened the rain gutter hole into the inside. So check those out. They're on the they're on the backwards edge of the cubby, like towards the driver, because since it's angled down, as rain gets in that gutter, it runs around, and Honda's got these drains for it, so it just pours down, into the inside over the engine. Well, so anyway, I covered that one that I made a hole there up with a piece of gaffer's tape. So watch out for those holes, drill below them or anywhere else. So then I just kind of kept adding a hole or two. So the sound didn't even change until I had 4 1/4-inch holes. And what it took in the end was about 8. So I've got them kind of placed high randomly around the cubby here. You can see light there, right under that arm and that arm. And I got a couple there. When the lid is up, you can see to drill there. So there's 2 and 4. I did some under this brace, a couple under that brace you can do on each side. So these are, when you drill them, you'll have the kind of insulation that Honda had there. You'll have to scrape it out of the way with a screwdriver or a razor knife or something like that so you get a clean hole. But so anyway, 8 holes, 1/4-inch holes spread around the top of it. And then when you get to there, when you close the lid, the sound of the motor doesn't change at all, right? So I know that, and believe it or not, you can, even if you just drill the very first hole, put your lip to it, and you can feel the air blowing on it for sure. So it's blowing more powerfully when you just have one hole. So it's because it's under more pressure. So so with more vents, it can all just breathe easier. So that's my last and final upgrade to the super coolest glove box cubby in the world, hopefully. And so I know there'll be more engineers piling on here, giving me the lowdown on everything about heat and boxes and gloves and convections and who knows what and radiation. But this does work, so we're on to it. All right, well, my name's Max. Give this a thumbs up, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.